I think I need to be with him, she said quietly. Her eyes didn't meet mine. They didn't need to. The tremor in her voice already tore something inside me that would never heal the same again. I stared at her across the kitchen table, the same table where we'd eaten countless dinners, laughed, argued, planned, dreamed. Now it was just a battlefield. Her words hung between us like smoke after an explosion. Be with who? I asked, though I already knew. My voice cracked, thin and hollow. She swallowed. With Ethan, she said, almost like she was ashamed to say it. My ex. He's going through a lot, Daniel. He needs me right now. I blinked. He needs you. My laugh came out sharp and bitter. And what about me, Sarah? What about us? She didn't answer right away. Just stared down at her coffee. Gone cold. I could see her fingers trembling slightly around the mug. I'm sorry, she whispered. But I can't watch him fall apart knowing I could have helped. And in the process, you're fine letting me fall apart, said. No answer. Only silence, the kind that screams louder than words ever could. Sarah and I had been married for 4 years. We weren't perfect, no couple is, but I thought we were solid. We'd built a life together. Shared dreams, small routines. Sunday mornings meant pancakes and lazy music. Evenings meant her head on my shoulder while we watched bad TV. If there were cracks, I didn't see them forming. I remember the first time I noticed her distance. Small things at first. The late replies. The tired eyes. The way she flinched when I reached for her hand, like the touch burned. One evening she got a message while we were watching a movie. She smiled at her phone, that small, private kind of smile that used to belong to me. Who's that? Asked casually. Oh, just Ethan, she said almost too quickly. He's been having a rough time. That name, Ethan, stayed in my head like a splinter. I knew he was her ex from before me. They dated in college. She once said he was her first everything. I didn't ask for details. I trusted her. Trust. What a fragile, stupid thing that turned out to be. A week after that conversation, she packed her things. She said she needed space, said she didn't want to hurt me further. I didn't stop her. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have fought harder. But when the person you love decides to walk away, holding on only makes you bleed more. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. At first, I kept expecting her to come back. Some nights I'd wake up reaching for her side of the bed, only to find it cold. I'd scroll through her pictures, reread her messages. Torture myself with memories. Everyone told me to move on. That if she could leave that easily, she wasn't worth it. But they didn't see the Sarah I knew. The one who used to cry during thunderstorms, who'd hum softly while doing dishes, who'd kiss me on the forehead when she thought I was asleep. I loved her still. God help me, I did. Then one rainy evening, 6 months later, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. But something made me swipe. Daniel. Her voice. Fragile. Shaky. Sarah. There was a long pause. Then a sob. Can I come over? My stomach tightened. What's wrong? Please, she whispered. I just need to see you. Against my better judgment, I said yes. She arrived looking nothing like the woman who left. Her hair was messy, her face pale, eyes swollen from crying. She looked broken. I stood by the door, unsure what to do. You should come in, I said finally. She stepped inside, and for a moment we both just stood there, strangers sharing the same air that once felt like home. Then she broke down. Fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. I made a mistake, she cried. A terrible mistake. I clenched my fists, fighting the storm rising in my chest. What happened, Sarah? She covered her face. He wasn't who I thought he was. Then he used me. Said he needed me, but he just wanted to hurt me for leaving him years ago. When I realized it was too late. He cheated, he lied, he destroyed everything. Her voice cracked. And now I've lost everything that mattered. I stared at her, really stared. This was the same woman who'd looked me in the eyes and said another man needed her more. The same woman who watched me crumble and still walked away. Part of me wanted to pull her close, to tell her it was okay. But the other part, the part that had lived through sleepless nights, empty mornings, and shattered trust, stayed silent. You didn't just lose everything, Sarah, I said quietly. You gave it away. She looked up at me, eyes wide, wet with regret. Please, Daniel. I was confused. I thought I was helping him. I didn't realize what I was doing until I saw what I'd lost. Everything we had. I shook my head. You thought he needed you more. That's what you said. She reached out for my hand. I was wrong. Her fingers brushed mine. And for a second I almost let her hold it. But then I remembered the nights she didn't answer my calls, the image of her walking away with her suitcase, and the empty side of my bed. I pulled my hand back. She stayed that night on the couch. I couldn't just send her out in the rain. I wasn't cruel. But I also couldn't sleep. I kept thinking of all the times I'd imagined her return, how I'd hold her, forgive her, start over. But reality wasn't as clean. It was heavy, messy, full of ghosts. The next morning I found her sitting by the window, staring out at the sunrise. She looked small, defeated. I don't expect you to forgive me, she said softly. But I wanted you to know I'm sorry. For everything. He nodded. I know. I still love you, she whispered. The words should have meant something. They used to. But now they just floated there, hollow like echoes from a past life. Love isn't supposed to break someone this much, I said. You taught me that. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Is there no chance for us? I hesitated. I could feel the weight of the years we'd shared pressing against my ribs. I wanted to believe in second chances. But some betrayals carved too deep. You had your chance, I said quietly. You made your choice. She nodded slowly like she'd expected it. Then she stood, walked to the door, and turned back one last time. I hope someday you find someone who'll never make you feel replaceable, she said. And then she was gone. Months passed again. Life found a strange rhythm. I focused on work, picked up new habits, even smiled sometimes. Healing wasn't linear. Some days were better, some were hell. One evening, while cleaning up the old photo albums, I found a picture of us, laughing, holding hands at the lake. For a moment I felt that familiar ache. But this time it didn't crush me. It just reminded me of who I used to be and how far I'd come. That night, as I stood by the window watching the rain, I realized something. She was right. Love shouldn't make you feel replaceable. And maybe forgiveness wasn't about letting her back in. Maybe it was about letting myself move on. So I whispered to the empty room. I forgive you, Sarah. But I'm done waiting. Weeks later, I heard from a mutual friend that she'd moved to another city, started therapy, was trying to find herself again. I wished her well, silently. There was no anger left, only a quiet understanding. She once said her ex needed her more. Maybe he did. But in the end I needed myself more. And this time I wasn't going to leave me behind.